Hello and welcome back to Cardboard Decoy Plays Gnomoria. Now we have harvest time over here in our wheat fields, hay fields, straw fields, whatever you want to call them. Well, they're growing wheat, but then straw is kind of a byproduct, I suppose you could say. And we're getting filled up over here, so things are proceeding rather swimmingly. Now we just need them to finish up workshop so we can start building all the other necessary things we need to not be completely overrun with, chicanery and all of that. So let's go raw sandstone again. Our initial rooms here are almost done. We'll turn them into official dorm rooms. Although we don't really need to. This is really fine for now. We're not in a rush to, make sure we accommodate every single dwarf. Most of them are fine. So, okay. So here we go. We've got this figured out. Let me see. What can we do in the meantime? We can set up orchards. Now, I don't know who is set up to do horticulture. So let's see, we have not them obviously. Yeah, if we look over here in agriculture, horticulture is part of what they should be doing, but I think, let's see, woodcutter does not have horticulture, farmer does have horticulture, but we don't necessarily want them to focus on that so much. I usually have a tendency to give it to the woodcutters so that they're the only ones tending to the orchards and tree farms and all that fun stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to, not build. We're going to agriculture, grove. We're going to do 5x10. That's an entirely decent tree setup. There we go. Apple tree, apple grove, apple orchard. We're going to name this. This will be apple orchard. There we go. Plant saplings, cut clippings. Don't want to do that just yet. Alright, well, you know what? Actually, we do. Let's go ahead and we'll tell it not to do anything. So whenever the fruit grows, we'll tell it to cut clippings, and that'll get us some extra clippings so we can plant a full 50. So, alright. We'll just do that. And then we're going to do population, professions, and we're going to change up woodcutter just a little bit so that they also have horticulture, which means they'll tend to the trees as the need arises. Okay, and then we will also make sure we have grove still, and then we'll do an orange grove right next to it. Tree. We don't have any orange clippings yet. Okay, that's not a big deal. Let's go ahead and... yeah, we still got that food laying there that they never picked up, so we'll take some clippings from... hey there, bear. Okay. What is he going to do? Is he going to run away? He's going to be a little brazen. Anybody going over there to try to work is going to end up running away, but that's totally fine. So, let's see. Bears are pretty tough. They'll jack you up even with a decent military. Or they have the potential to, and that can be bad. Okay, cool. This also is a good time because we need the food, actually. We're running a little bit low on food. Now, let me see, let me see. We're almost full in our general stockpile here, which just means as soon as we can build crates, we'll be building tons of them. And we have a well here that still needs to be built. We're still kind of backed up. Most of our doors, gnomes, are asleep. And that's not a bad thing. Okay, let me think. How do I want to carve out the rest of this? Just while we're here, I figure I might as well consider some of my options here. Let's see. Alright, let's go ahead and we are going to mine out this wall. And we're going to mine out all of this wall, actually, to the very edges of that. And then we're going to go over here, fell trees, fell some of these birch trees, get them out of the way. And then we'll come in and build walls around the periphery. Stone wall. Build. Give it a second. And there's no access, so if there's no ramps around the edges here, that means that things like goblins and whatnot don't have access to your gnomely homes, which is exactly what we're shooting for here. Trying to accomplish, at least. Okay, there we go. So we should have 2x2 sort of surrounding area here, which is perfect. I like it. Alright. And then if we take it out over the way to the edge here, let me go back to... agriculture. Fell trees. Alright. We're just going to cut down a whole bunch of trees around in this area. And then I'm just going to keep building into this hillside, or at least building walls along this hillside, so it gives me kind of a guide of where I can continue building houses and rooms and the like. At least on this first area. And then we'll figure out what to do on the higher up planes later on. So let's go ahead and let's see, what do we have to deal with over here? That's all harvesting. They're planting the trees. Good stuff. So this should have just a slightly wheat farm. Yeah, it's got a slightly higher priority, so they should be doing that whenever that pops up instead of planting trees, which the woodcutters totally can take care of on their own. Not a big deal. Let's see, we do have saplings, birch clippings, and apple clippings, and birch clippings. Okay, cool. So, not a huge deal. Let's see, did they finish clipping all of these? They did. So the good thing is if you do clippings, that also counts as a foraging, so you can kind of condense your tasks sometimes when in regards to that. And those initial apple trees, the only apple trees we had over there, will now be a consistent grove of apple trees in due time, and we won't have to worry about that any longer. Not that I think we ever were really too terribly worried about it. Looks like we're gonna have to forge that little guy. Let's go ahead and remove ramp. I remove ramp. It's a really bad I love lamp modification. Let's see. Okay. Mine wall. Yeah, we'll build out this way. And, whoops. Build. Terrain, wall, stone wall, raw sandstone. I love it. It is aesthetically sound to me. Alright. Go back to mining. Mine out some of this space really quick. At least to reflect what it already is we're trying to build here. So, and then that wall will come down this way, so we can build down that way a little bit. Alright. There we go. So we've established sort of a pattern here for how we want to do things. Okay. And then we could probably, yeah, we'll continue building this way as well. So why not why not just establish that pattern as well? Okay. Build. Terrain. Wall. Raw sandstone. This is like really weird motivational elevator music kind of stuff happening in the background, and I'm always kind of, again, I think I've probably mentioned this before, where it's very much so torn between thinking it's awesome in kind of that maybe B-movie it's so bad it's awesome kind of way, and like generally being like I wish I knew of a good resource for music that I could play instead of this. Sun is set, Axel cancels job, can't find path, somebody's stuck. Can't find path. Hold on, population. Axel. Move to. Okay. Bamboodlewinkle. Where are you? Move to. Alright, we must have removed a dirt pile then. That's the only thing I could think of, is they were going to try to take stuff to a dirt pile. And, it was moved last minute, so everybody who tried to set up those jobs are now canceling them. Oh my god, that's only slightly annoying. Is that... did we destroy a path somewhere? Okay, no, they're trying to build that wall, but they can't figure out how to path to it. Oh my god. Can we... could we not? Okay, hold on. Let me cancel this job and try to reassign this. Alright, build. Now what? Okay, that job on that end. Okay, so they don't like building these walls on the ends there. Let's try one more time. Oh, hey, I can build scaffolding. I forgot about that. That's right, I remember hearing something about scaffolding before. Alright, first of all, let's go ahead and... we're going to mine out these ramps so they don't try to path up the ramp. Okay. That'll probably make this a much easier decision for them. Alright. Alright, and then we will build terrain, wall, raw sandstone. Oh, there's still a ramp over there, but let's see what happens. Okay, they don't like that, but they will path over there. Okay, so there's something about the ramps that they don't like. Alright, remove ramp. Alright, this should help. There we go. Now they figured it out. They were trying to build from the bottom of a ramp and it wasn't going to work. So that was what was causing the problem there. Okay. How are we? Stocks are completely full. Just barely making even the most remote of progress on this area. This is like the worst part, is waiting for these things to finish. Because there's only so many guys who will actually work on it. Hold on, let's make sure we're not locked up somewhere. Yeah, that's not happening. Task build sawmill. Needs 1 saw blade. Build stonecutter. Needs 1 chisel. Could you please make a chisel? There we go. Maybe that'll get the ball rolling there. Alright. Oh, there we go. Terrain. Remove ramp. And we're going to remove all ramps in this area right here, and then build walls. And then we'll just slowly build out in this way. And all will be well. There we go. Cool. So we have an even larger area to work with here now. And that'll give us kind of an idea of which way we want to go and all of that other fun stuff. As stated multiple times in the past, no biggie. Alright. And we're harvesting more strawberries. Our food is slowly gaining speed. Nobody is planting orange trees for some reason. Oh, that's because I never assigned it orange trees because I didn't have them at the time. So we're going to plant saplings, but nothing else until we get enough saplings to fill out the whole grove. So there we go. Those guys are going to do that. They're harvesting strawberries. That'll give us a ton of food. And yes, relative stability. Always nice. It's a favorite of mine. Now, we could wall off. Now, here's the thing. Before, you were able to wall off, and it was no big deal. Basically, if you walled off, then that meant... Ah, there we go. See? Now we've got everything moving. That's all we needed was somebody to make a chisel for the stone cutter, and they got hung up on trying to figure out how to do that. They probably assigned it to the stone mason, and that wasn't going to happen because they weren't getting blocks made. So, yeah, there we go. Odd glitches, but if you have any knack for kind of sort of sussing out what might be going on with the programming, then you'd be good. But what was I talking about? Yeah, okay, so before you could wall off everything, and then you were basically immune to attack, and if you had nomads, Gnomads, that's literally what they're called, you're going to find out here in a couple days, then, you know, you opened up a piece of wall, let them run inside, or militarize them just long enough to get them to come inside, and then, you know, closed up the wall again and no big deal. But now whenever goblins invade, you have to fight them, or else they'll come back with a guy with a giant drill and then just totally ruin your day. So, in order to combat that, you basically need to... Oh, hi there. It's a honey badger. Okay. Okay, there we go. Yeah, he ran away. Good. They'll come with a guy with a drill and just drill through your walls anyway, so it kind of defeats the purpose. So you have to have, like, a standing army at all times. So as soon as this is done, the first thing we're going to actually build is a training grounds for that very purpose. And then we'll worry about storage and everything as it comes. Because this is getting a little overbearing, but you need bags to carry all of these seeds in. And you're not going to be able to build those until you have a tailor. And you're not going to be able to have a tailor until you can make a bone sewing needle. You're not going to have a bone sewing needle until you kill something. So until either the yaks reproduce, or you have a military that's strong enough to actually take on a random animal, then that's just not going to happen. Okay, cool. So now we have sandstone well. The well has access to water. Good stuff. And then we'll go ahead and we'll build another well as well. Let's see. We don't have any sandstone blocks. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. There we go. We'll just do that. That'll give us a couple wells. So, again, if worse comes to worse and we manage to run out of drink, because I went probably about a week without making any progress on these workshops, which is really bad, then at the very least we'll have some water to drink. And we do have food coming. We have plenty of time until actual winter comes, so I'm not too worried about that. The major concerns right now are making sure our military is fairly trained up for what will be our first goblin encounter, and then being able to continue to expand outward in our workshop capabilities and build more things. So, where are we at on time? We got lots of time. Well, we got like 5 minutes, but either way. Okay. So, alright. Grove there. Grove there. We're just waiting for those to grow up. And then we've got a little bit of housing up here. Not a lot. I need to carve out some more workshop spaces, so I'll go ahead and do that. We're just going to mine a bunch of 5 by... Let's see, they're 3. We'll do 6 by 3, so 6 by 3 plus 2 is 8 by 5. There we go. We'll just have some rooms like that. 8 by 5. Cool deal. Dig it. Alright. Dig it! By far, the funniest thing I've ever seen was the Macho Man mod for Skyrim. I don't think I've ever laughed at something so hard as that. Let's see. 8 by 5 here. So once we start building workshops en masse, that's basically just little partitions to help keep them organized, more or less. Alright, there we go. We're also going to want to start producing, or mass-producing, doors for everything as well. So keeping closed off is going to be good. It'll halt a lot of enemy advances whenever they start coming, and at least give you some time to organize your army and let everybody else run away who isn't fighting. So, there we go. Digging through all of that. Good stuff. And, yeah, so this is fairly stable for now. We're almost at the end of spring. I can't remember if it's 12 or 14 days per month. It's one of the two. It's an even number, greater than 10, less than 15, from what I remember. Okay, there we go. We planted all our orange trees. We still have a ton of clippings, though, for birch and pine, which is good. We'll eventually make a pine forest that will just be our infinite repository for continuous wood production for everything that we need, and then birch for whenever we want to really start stacking value everywhere. Oh hey, we found some jewels, which I am not going to dig out because that will start to inflate our value unnecessarily. If it were metal, I would probably go ahead and get it just to have it, start stockpiling that. However, it is not. It is jewels. Jewels are expensive. Expensive means lots of guys coming to attack us early on in the game, and that would be pretty bad. Yeah, pretty bad. Plank for chair. Okay, well they're not... Yeah, we already built the other well. So now we have 2 wells. And now we're waiting for them to finish up the sawmill. And once they do that, we can tear this thing down and then start really going crazy on building everything else. I'm gonna drink some water. I remember, it's 12 days a season, 14 days between breeding cycles for ox. So... yeah, we're at the 11th day of spring. In 2 days it'll be summer, and then another day after that we should have our first baby ox, which is full grown, straight out the womb, which was a strangely awkward thing to say the least. But once that's taken care of, then we'll have we have a 50-50 chance of either A, not slaughtering it, having 2 females, and then just letting them breed incestuously indefinitely, or B, having 2 males and slaughtering one of them and then using their bones to be able to start making a loom, which will also help us with our organizational needs rather quickly. And, you know, I might as well go ahead and make a trading post. Well, there we go. Everything's done. Hooray! So, let's build a couple things really quick. We're going to do a training grounds so that we have a place for our military to train, and then we are also going to queue up a market stall. There we go, that's what I want. So market stall is going to allow us to trade off. I basically use it as kind of a garbage place, and then I can pick up some odd things every now and then that are really good. Until we get emus, you can get emus and feed emus your extra seeds. So especially since you end up producing so many seeds, it's virtually impossible to run out of them. You could just feed them to emus and then start making omelets with their gigantic eggs, and that's a really good path to take with that for sure. So either way, it's a good place to just sort of toss stuff away. So if you have like 400 apple seeds, or not apple seeds, because you use saplings for apples, but say strawberry seeds, which you'll get hundreds and hundreds of, that will just take up tons of space. You can just trade them away for some metal. You get 1 metal bar, you're good to go. Look at this. We're already ready to build this. You see how fast that took compared to how long it took to build the 4 of those, regardless of whether or not I forgot to actually build them. Here we go. We have our trading grounds. So, in the evening, we'll have Fist of the Northern Star. So around that time, they'll come over here and fight each other and train up. So unless they're sleeping, or the only time they won't train is because they'll be sleeping, and then the time just passed almost immediately, so they got a little bit of training done. Now they'll go back to their other tasks, which is exactly what we want them to do, and only train part of the time. So we will get our first attack here, not immediately into summer, but sometime in the middle of summer we should get our first attack, and hopefully our Fist of the Northern Star will be able to surmount such a challenge rather easily, or handily as it were, since they are monks, etc. And yes, we should be pretty good. This is a nice little stable area to be in. Let's see, we'll wait for that market stall to finish. It requires a lot of things, as it were. Most things require things. You gotta have things to make things, so they say. Nobody says that, but I do. Shut up. Alright, let's go ahead, and what we want to do... Oh, man. Yeah, our food's getting a little low, so what I'm actually going to do first is tell them to forage some more. So we're going to try to very selectively forage out some food. And it's actually the end of the video, so I just noticed. So I'm going to get them started on this, and they're basically going to go out and achieve a great deal of strawberries for food and distillery purposes, and we'll build a distillery, followed by a kitchen shortly thereafter. And then be good on most of our supplies. Okay. And so yeah, this has been Cardboard Decoy playing Gnomoria. We made pretty good progress. Finally got our damn workshops done so we can start building the rest of our infrastructure up. There's another honey badger, no big deal. And let's go back over here where we were. We're just going to scour all the fruit off the map. And then... yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And next time, we'll get our first nomads. It'll be time to really start preparing some of our military. And then hopefully we'll get some fun times out of it. More progress will be had. We'll set up more infrastructure. The ability to start getting really comfortable so that we can start skyrocketing in production and doing crazy things. That'll be the plan. So, yeah, I will see you next time. Have fun. Hey, more apple trees. Son of a bitch. Yeah, have fun.